Hello friends, family, other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level best of 5. Today, in the bottom left, is our blue Protoss player, currently the greatest Protoss player in the entire world. It's herO. On the right side, playing for Team Psystorm in the red trunks, it's going to be Gumiho. Let's go back into herO's base. We see the lack of a pylon in the main, instead it's built on the low ground. At the same time, we see Gumiho send out a worker. This seems like a proxy barracks worker and not an eBay block type of worker. herO, however, lately he's had a couple of modes, I kind of want to say. You know, every now and again he loves these early pylons, 12 pylon, 13 gate proxy Stargate, that type of work. We've seen him play quick nexus before core without scouting across the map, but scouting all the close by locations with the initial probe. I've also seen him just straight away move across the map, then going into a fast cybernetics core, chronoing in a zealot and an adept across the map, or just an adept. There's a couple of different ways that herO likes to play. I think he's going to be sending this still across the map, because if you have a low ground gate, very often you want to open up with a core before nexus, and it's really important that with your probe you get to deny a little bit of time on the command center if it is a one gas barracks expand. That is not the case this time around. Ooh, this is a Marauders straight away. So this is very different from what we usually see. I kind of dig that. So there is a factory going down here out of Gumiho. And now it's on herO to figure out what actually is going on. First Marauder is on the way already. We're going to see a chrono boost most likely on the first gate unit. Pylon is about to finish up. Concussive shell starts now. The first Marauder is out. At least will be out in 4 or 5 seconds. At this point in time, herO will start getting a little bit suspicious. Not completely suspicious, but a little bit suspicious. Like, hey, there's no Reaper yet. That's odd. My probe in the main base is still alive. That's odd as well. So what's going on? And right now, all the alarm bells should be ringing, and a battery should start at this point. It could still be in time before the Marauder would hit. We also only have 2 adepts on the way, now followed up by a Stargate. There's not going to be a battery here whatsoever. Technically, it could still be a double Reaper save up to then just jump into the main base. So it's even scary to have both adepts on the low ground here. So most likely these units are going to be split. Concussive Shells has finished up. Second SCV is making its way across the map. And at the same time, the first Hellion is popping out. This is quite a sick build order, actually. I really like that. I don't think I've seen this in a very long time. Quick response out of herO is going to shade away immediately with this Stargate coming up as well. Potential for a Void Ray is here. Maybe even for an Oracle as well. I think we're going to need to see a cancel on either the Warp Gate or this third Adept. First Adept is going to die, so that third Adept will now be the second Adept. Second Adept in a little bit of trouble as well. With the Hellion out, Pro Pools aren't actually that effective. Oracle is going to get constructed rather than a Void Ray, but Oracles run out of energy pretty quickly against Marauders. I think this is really bad right now for herO, actually. This looks terrible. We are going to see a battery in the main base, and sure, this Hellion is not going to get any major kills either. Actually, he's not going to get any kills whatsoever, but the low ground nexus is that. If it was a Void Ray rather than an Oracle, I think you could actually hold that low ground. Wait, Gumiho is backing off? Somewhat surprising. Actually, extremely surprising. Medevac is on the way. Oh, there's a proxy starport as well. 4 Marauder drop is a possibility here, while the Hellion tries to run in towards the natural. I love this fool out of herO. Inventive little play there. herO is really good in these weird, chaotic situations. Good decision making overall. Once again, I much would have preferred a Void Ray, but that's not the case. Now these Marauders are going to enter the main base. You only have limited time to shoot with your Oracle usually. Energy is relatively high at 83. Of course, 25 will go away once the Pulsar Beam gets activated. You can immediately pick up as well, or you can just micro these units if you want to. See some target fire right now on this pylon. The Medevac heal does so much. Marauders are so bulky as well, and I almost feel like this is game over. Adept on the low ground dies as well. Oracle, yeah, it's just going to run out of energy, no? There's really nothing that you can do here. Viking being produced, Cyclone on the way, Command Center starting as well. 51 supply against 36. These Marauders continue dropping. And Gumiho Yeah, it's just breaching the front as well at the same time. Hellion attacking the Cyber Core, one Marauder attacking the Gateway. Not the greatest target fire, but I mean, with a Viking out, there's literally just a single unit right now. Second unit gets warped in. Actually, no, there's 2 Oracles. Both of them are out of energy, though, so both of them literally useless. This game is completely over. I'm surprised that hero's still staying in. Perhaps with a super battery? Well, not if it's not powered anymore. You can't super battery something that ain't powered. 14 workers have gone down, and I mean, even with the super battery, CC is done at this point. More Vikings are on the way. There's actually no point. There's no reason to stay in this game. hero decides that there is, though. Wants to continue fighting, but 2 Vikings, second one can land as well. Still have 4 Marauders alive, double Cyclones. This is completely pointless. This actually is completely pointless. Could have waited out that battery as well, but Gumiho doesn't want to waste any time. He's just going to start moving in. So he's going to end up losing a bunch of units, but there's just too many Marauders. Cyclone, Viking, more Marauders on the way, continuous Cyclone production. Gonna see another Viking start as well, yeah. I mean, Gumiho also is just up 10 workers. Like, even if hero would kill this entire army for free right now, he'd still be dead. Like, it's just the reality of the situation. He's going to need to tap out at some point. He's staying in so ridiculously long. This is kind of sick. I'm not quite sure why you would do this to yourself. It's like torture. It's absolutely like torture, and not just for the audience, but also for yourself. Going over mistakes in your head. GG gets called. Gumiho wins game number 1 in this best of 5. We're here in our second game, as we see hero start with a pylon in the main base and an extremely quick scout. Does not want to get proxied again and says, okay, I'm just going to send my first worker straight away across the map and try and delay anything that you can build. This is actually a cute timing. I think this is capable of blocking the barracks even for a little bit, and that's the entire point of it. Usually, at least. Well, it's just going to get built straight next to the command center then. That's actually a really nice solution to this potential problem. I actually like that a lot. Sending your first worker straight away across the map also is insanely expensive. I just like to tell all of you about that. Like, it's not cheap. That's no joke money, you know. We're talking a very, very big loss, especially if you compare it to like a gas scout or even like a nexus scout, like these later scouts. This will lose you like, I want to say like maybe 110 minerals compared to that. 120. Like, it's huge, and there's definitely some snowball effect. I'll be able to judge it a little bit better once we see like the core go down and the nexus as well. It feels like this is still relatively in time. 125. It is about a second later than the standard. 24 is a pretty normal timing. Anything before 24 usually is considered good. So it's already an entire second delayed. Nexus is like 2 seconds or so maybe delayed. Usually 135-ish, I want to say. Nah, a little bit earlier. Nah, a little bit. No, yeah, 135 actually. Seems fair. Second pylon gets thrown down. We'll see what hero is going to be following this up with. Most of the time just likes to open up with an adept, send it across the map, get something done. Ooh! That's not an adept. Well, it's a very weird looking adept if it is one at least. This one can't shade. It's a stalker. Reaper CC on the high. Oh my god, what is this? Use the CC to full wall. Could have used a factory for that, obviously. Didn't want to do that, though. Still kind of vulnerable, though, isn't it? The CC in the wall. I don't mind it too much. Anyway, Stalker is out. Is staying in the mineral line right now. Maybe wants to catch this Reaper. Might actually be capable. Oh, look at that! That was definitely a catching motion. He wanted to kind of go around it and then catch it. Just barely not going to get it. Probe makes its way across the map once again. Wants to see, hey, what's going on here? What are we doing, buddy? Is that command center down yet? Should know that is not the case because it can't finish yet at this point. Still need to turn it into an orbital first as well. I think that's what you'll do in this type of scenario, right? You get an orbital and then later on you fly it. It's kind of slow with the orbital. Took like 4 or 5 seconds. It's like half an SEV. Somewhat impactful. Second barracks on the way immediately as well. It feels like a mine drop. But a mine drop doesn't feel like a Gumiho build. So it's not going to be a mine drop. This will be a tech lab. Build it. You know you want. Dang it. Well. Mine drop it is. Okay, I can live with it. What did Gumi actually scout so far? Not much. Saw Stalker as a first unit. As a result, goes into the mine drop. Actually makes some sense as well, right? If you're playing against a Stargate opener, you don't want to be playing Mind Drop. But if you believe it's not Stargate, Mind Drop is just literally the best build. Mind Drop is such a good build. It's an extremely standard build that can instantly win the game. It almost always deals damage, direct or indirect. It's just so useful. I love Mind Drop build orders. Just such a powerful tool for Terran. Question, of course, is going to be, what will we see here? Are we going to see, okay, a tank as a follow-up? Will we see a Raven as well? Or is this just going to be, this is just 2 racks. Oh, this is the Beyond type of opener that he's been doing a lot. Get a bunch of Marines out. Get 1 or 2 tanks, maybe even a medevac eventually. Or I guess you keep this medevac alive. Move across the map, try and cancel a 3rd base. This is also extremely strong against any type of pressures. herO actually is opening this up with a 4 gas into Robo Bay. This will go into a Robo Bay, guaranteed, I think. Well, it's not really guaranteed if I can't guarantee it. Oh my good lord, okay, this is game. Absolutely game over right now. Oh, well, okay. Not absolutely game over. This is very impactful. There's no 3rd base, which means that probe production is slow. Eco is already going to be poor for herO here. Gumiho has a good defensive setup with soon to be 2 tanks. Medevac stayed alive, despite there not being any mines in it. Just the fact that it stays alive, I mean, that's 200 resources that you get to keep. There's not enough Stalkers to one-shot tanks either. 2-shotting is probably not going to be possible. 2 SCVs do get taken out. Good call. Excuse me? That's not a good blink. Yeah, it's going to be a Robo Bay into a Forge. Usually when you see 4 gas before the 3rd base, it kind of indicates that type of play. It could technically also be a Templar Archives, but it just has to be some like secondary type of tech structure, or like a tertiary, I guess. Because Cybercore is the initial tech structure always, of course. Unless you count the gateway, but no one counts the gateway as a tech structure. That's the initial production structure. You get like your Twilight Council, or the Robo in this case. And then Robo Bay or Templar Archives would be like kind of tier 3, I guess. Tier 3.5, whatever. Tier 4 maybe even. Gateway units are also a tier. Zealot is tier 1. Stalker is like 1.5. Difficult to say what it is exactly. Anyway, medevac is going back home. We're going to see a single medevac be sent across the map towards the bottom side. There's no probes yet though on this 3rd base, so I don't think this medevac is actually going to achieve much. Especially if this medevac is going to stay here in the dead space, then you definitely won't achieve very much. Now Gumiho decides to actually move it a bit, and there's no real vision here for herO. There's 1 observer, which is going to get taken out. So now there's really no vision whatsoever. Is this the first Colossi? No, that's the 2nd Colossi already. Templar Archives on the way as well, together with Charge. I believe he usually follows this up with like a 4 gas type of style. Very low on the workers, like 57, 58. Gets out a lot of Zealots. Bunch of batteries being built too, huh? 2 batteries at the same time already. He's afraid. 2nd Forge, yeah, this is leaning heavily towards a, oh my god, 4 gas style. See 2 Stalkers getting killed here. Sentries are going to get targeted down as well. 1 sentry will die, 2 Stalkers die, but so will 5 of the 8 Marines. At the same time, Gumiho pushes through the middle of the map. There's 5 tanks in this army? That's one hell of an army, isn't it? The problem is that these Marines don't even have combat shield yet. If this Colossi gets a single swipe on these Marines, that would be huge. However, if these tanks get a single shot off, that would also be huge. Combat does finish right now. Tanks wanting to go into a good position. I think some of them need to start sieging up already. I think he's way too careless with these tanks right now. He's going to start sieging up. We'll get the shots off. Both sentries will fall. A lot of the Marines are dying though. Thermal Lance has finished up. These Stalkers are in a great position as well. At the same time though, we still have that medevac with the 2 Marines in it. Just popping in between the 3rd and the natural. Might even go in towards the main base. 1 Marine into the natural. 1 Marine towards the main. The single Marine drop. An absolute classic in Terran versus Protoss. As this Gumiho army is going to return back home. There's a couple of Marauders there, which will help in the tank ability, which will help pushing forward if you ever do want to get into a good position. So we still see that 4 gas here. Not going to add more gateways, and instead just follow this up with a couple of disruptors. I love the vision here on the top side of the map. That is useful. There's a Stalker in the middle. There's a probe, just kind of spotting. This disruptor is scarily far forward. Might just die if Gumiho comes from this ramp and just stimps forward and BAM! Shoots it. That would not be good. So let's hope he doesn't BAM! Shoot it. Marine's going to move forward. Sensor tower finishes up. We currently have 7 tanks. How did he get this many tanks? I guess he just never stopped building them, huh? None of them died. 2 disruptors in the middle of the map. I like it. I like it. This is herO saying, hey, I know I'm behind. I'm going to get vision all on the map. I'm going to surprise you with 2 disruptors. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Triple Stalker, I'm not quite sure what they chased, but it looked like a medevac that just went down there. Not sure if there was anything in there. 4 Zealots are moving in towards the main base right now, as well as Gravitic Drive on the way. Double Zealots heading in towards the 3rd. That means we're going to see a little bit of multitasking. And as that is happening, we also see Gumiho moving out on the map right now. Full on rally towards this army. That means that no units will be left in the main base. These disruptors, well, both of them have to shoot. Good splits. Wow, that's really cute. Good scan forward as well, but these disruptors do absolutely nothing. Prism in the main base is going to die by flying into 3 Marines, and well, Marauder, a couple extra Marines are coming in as well. So this drop gets stopped. That means there's almost nothing left right now for herO. There's still a super battery, which, don't get me wrong, is going to be useful. But without anything behind this army, reinforcements can just continue streaming in. The Zealot count is not large enough to go for a big flank either. What is the Zealot count actually? It's 7. Yeah, it's definitely not big enough. Can't go for a run by, can't go for a flank. This feels all in out of Gumiho, but there is 2-2 behind this. There's just no fort base. But perhaps that's not really that necessary, as right now this fort base out of herO also got cancelled. That was being built there on the, what was it, 8 o'clock perhaps? Zealot run by heading in towards the natural. We'll see a stim, and that should be capable of cleaning it up. 2 medevacts are going to move back with that as well. Another disruptor is coming on out. There is 1 disruptor here already, which is kind of useful. Can perhaps kill some tanks if you have vision. With vision you can always do that. I love that this army isn't actually going to reinforce this position. This position is pretty solid. Right now Gumiho says, hey, if we can just kill a fort base or threaten your main base, that would be huge. And I kind of agree with that. I really do agree with that sentiment. Do you want to use your disruptors here? Maybe try your luck? It is a possibility. Yeah, there we go. Gets 1 Marine, almost gotten 2 Marauders there as well. I mean, you need to pick something off at this point, and you can't really afford to lose Zealots there. Right now I think, oh my god, Marauders doing so much damage. Disruptor gets sniped, Zealot flank does come in. There's a couple, actually not that many bio units here, but I think the siege units by themselves might just be enough. Reinforcements coming in, and the cavalry, as always, is just in time. 6 tanks still remaining in this position. Liberator has been taken out. 7 tank is on the way as well. Feels like the bio production is lacking a little bit. Not quite sure what happened here in the main base. What I do know, though, is that once 2-2 finishes up here for Gumiho, herO is going to be in even more trouble than he already is. I think this is in range of the Nexus right now. That's going to put some time pressure onto herO to engage into this position one more time. 2-2 finishing up. Do we have +1 vehicle? No, we do not have +1 vehicle. Oof. 4 Marines. I like that herO took this base. And now goes for a full-on base raid. Leaves the disruptors at home. That's a brilliant call. The only correct call, probably. That actually is super smart. I love it. Oh my god, it's going to get a big hit here. herO turning this game around, potentially. Blinks forward on one of these tanks. There is 1 Viking is going to get sniped. The problem is that the bio is well upgraded. If this bio was 1-1, this could be a game winner. But because the bio is 2-2, Marauders are capable of fighting this army. Gumiho dropping in supply pretty quickly, though. Has lost 19 workers. Is down in workers right now. Disruptors. Oh, this is not a fight you can take, herO. This is not a fight you can take. You need to run away out of the tank fire. Supplies are equal once again. But the army supply in favor of Gumiho is also still up 1 upgrade. It's 2-1 against 2-2 in favor of the Terran. Leave the disruptors at home. Leave the disruptors at home. I would love these disruptors to stay at home. 1 tank's going to get picked off for free here. This is a very powerful attack. I actually think that herO is doing it right now. Zealots are connecting. Oh, sensor tower gets taken out. Not a single one of the Zealot dies against the own disruptor shot. That is pretty important. These upgrades are so good for Gumiho, though. Still has that bottom side base as well with the planetary. 3 base against 4. Workers are being produced once again as well for the Korean Terran, who continues building Vikings, as there's still 1 Colossi alive as well. 2 disruptors, and, well, this is just mainly a gate army. You can't attack into this herO. It is simply not possible. No, it's not possible. I will not condone this move. This is a bad, bad move. Both disruptors get sniped. GG gets called as herO has to tap out, and now is down 0-2 in this best of 5. A score that not a lot of people had expected. Here we are in game number 3, as we're following Gumiho's worker. We can hear the sound of the Protoss. I wonder if the worker can hear this as well. The boss just told me to build a barracks here. I wonder if these SCVs know what they're creating. You know? For them, it might just be another day on the job. Just putting this thing together. Like they have like one of these IKEA things, you know? They just follow the IKEA instructions, then they put it together, then they walk away. No clue what their drill and their... What even is the thing on the left? It's like some scissor or something? It's like a drill. I don't know what their left hand is. They hear like the Protoss noises. Must creep him out. This idiot screaming at you. It's a female Karak. Yeah. Ooh! Wait. Kind of missed the opener here completely. My bad. What's this going to be? 20 seconds from now. 16. This is a 14 pylon, I think. No, a 13 pylon, excuse me. So this cybernetics core is too late for it to be a 12 pylon, but it's too early for it to be a 14 pylon. And thus, the only thing that's left is a 13 pylon. I don't actually like 13 pylon for Proxy Stargate too much. It's okay, but it is... I think it's worse. It sometimes can trick your opponent a bit, because people think it's like, hey, that's a weird timing. And they don't realize that everything... Oh my good lord, he gets this around. You can't be serious. He actually can be serious. Yeah, that is so bad for Gumiho. That really sucks. That is hot garbage for Gumiho. Terrible stuff. Oh no. Well, that's not game over, but it sucks in a big way, you know? This is some big suckage right now. Okay, Reaper is going to scout that it is indeed going to be an Oracle. I think that Cyclone is going to be out in time. CC is being built as well. Actually, maybe Gumiho is just going to be fine. Who would have thought? Yeah, I actually think Gumiho is just going to be completely fine. Zero issues whatsoever. Starport's being constructed as well over here. Worker count will be in favor of the Korean Terran. There is one interaction that could happen here that I can imagine. Imagine that this Cyclone will lock on to one of these gate units as the Oracle moves in. That could be really bad. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Because then the cooldown of this thing would still be going. Look at that! Because of that, this Oracle is going to get a couple of kills. Now, we still get the lock on, but 3 kills that should not have happened have now happened. Now we're going to see, yes, now we just see target fire. Oh no, another lock in. Another lock. The Oracle doesn't have the balls to turn around, though. Good call. Ooh, Adept accidentally gets finished. That's not on purpose. Gets taken out before it gets to even kill a single worker. So, overall, I think this was a good early game for Gumiho. Viking is on the way. 3rd Cyclone coming in as well. Is the Reaper still alive, or did it also die now? So both Reapers have bitten the dust, have died, have been mercilessly killed by the Protoss units. Did that SCV ever get home, by the way? Yes. The only SCVs that got killed were by the Oracle. That means that the barracks building SCV, the one with the drill... What's the other thing? I'm really curious. It's just 2 drills? 2 drills. No, it's different. It's like a claw, almost. Yeah, it's like a claw and a drill. They drill and then they grab the minerals with the claw. I've never actually seen that. Never thought about how it actually works, but that makes some sense. Does the claw also close when it grabs the minerals? Oh, wrong button. Wrong button again. An idiot. I wanted to zoom out like this. And press the F12 button, which shows up the help menu. It's also interesting, of course. No, it sometimes closes. And when it's in there, it's actually completely open. Anyway, there's 3 Phoenixes here, as well as 2 Oracles. That's not going to be enough if there's 2 Vikings and 3 Cyclones, right? Right? Right. Right. Sometimes I'm not sure about my calls, but... You lose 2 Oracles, 2 Phoenix. Now, money-wise... This doesn't feel... Okay, now it's not a good trade, but it doesn't even feel that bad, right? You kill, what, 2 Cyclones? even if you would have killed a Viking and 2 Cyclones and you lose like 2 Oracles and a Phoenix, it doesn't feel that bad, but it's actually really bad. There's a very important reason for this. All the units that Terran builds in order to deal with Protoss air fall off in the mid-game in a huge way. Cyclones are completely useless in a mid-game. The moment the Colossi is out, the moment there's batteries, the moment there's really just blink, anything, the moment anything is out, Cyclones become completely useless. So if these Cyclones get traded out for anything whatsoever, that is already better than they usually would expect. Usually you just build a Cyclone in order to not die. You don't build it to do anything with it. Ooh, slightly too late there. It's going to lose another Phoenix. This is just painful to watch. herO is getting completely dismantled in this best of 5. Gumiho seems to have kind of figured out what the sweet spot of cheesing and playing macro is against herO. We'll end up losing 1 Viking here. That sucks. But at the same time, 44 workers against 46. We have a tank here. We have a decent... Well, actually, that's not that many Marines. Should not pretend like this is a lot of Marines. This is 13 Marines. We have charge as well. Going to be 7 gateways. With charge. Without upgrades. It's a decently sized Terran army. That's another Viking that's dead. Well, not quite. It's going to die now, I hope. Instead, 1 Phoenix goes down again. So many air units have fallen already. 3 Phoenixes, 2 Oracles have been killed. This is the move you always want to do with Phoenixes. No matter what your follow-up is, you always want to pick up reinforcements. Pick at the back of the Terran line as well. It's also good. Look at that. Bam. 5 Marines that go down there for free. Took out a Viking as well. Out of lifts right now, though. Could pick it up now. I think he just got a lift. Yep, there we go. Does have 1 lift. I mean, that was huge damage there. Out of herO. No. Whew. Quick. herO is quite quick. Actually quite quick. Not even necessarily APM-wise, but just he sees things fast. That's important. Do we have lifts? Yes, we have 3 lifts. All mines are going to get lifted. Not quite sure where we're lifting a Cyclone. That unit usually helps the Protoss more than it helps the Terran. Ooh, this is good movement out of Gumiho here. herO believes that he's winning this fight in a big way. And he is, but these are the sacrificial lambs. This is the real damage. Do we have a... we have a recall on the natural, but just recalling 5 Phoenixes, I don't think that's quite going to be enough. I also don't know how much energy there still is. So the right side is going to get completely cleared. Mine gets dropped. We have another mine drop. Hello, can we also drop units? Oh, look at this entire... This is just pure mines. Pure mines and 3 Marines. No, that's not quite it. Doom! Lift it. Okay, well... Right now there's no detection though, is there? It means that this mine is going to shoot again. I don't know if herO knows this is still alive. Wait, why is he moving across the map? Surely that's not the play. If you're up 25 supply, just deal with the threat at home, mate. Like really, just deal with the threat at home. You need to pull these away. Good at counting as well. Knows exactly when the mine is going to shoot. There's nothing here left. I don't think this is the correct call. We cannot engage into this. Need to start clearing. Where's the Oracle? I know it's been built. First deal with the one in the main base. If this shoots again, I'll be very upset, because that was not necessary whatsoever. I think the one in the natural will need to shoot now. There's nothing that herO can do about that. I don't think he's going to get it in time. He's not going to get it in time. That's just a fact. Oh, it's not a fact. I lied. Natural, natural, natural. Pulls it away. Lifts it. Pretty sick defense, honestly. Okay, that was really not bad. 140 supply for herO against 107 of Gumiho. Terran is always supposed to be up in supply in this matchup. There is one issue. Oh, there's multiple issues actually. But the main issue right now for herO is the fact that he is lacking upgrades. That's a big issue as well. Poof! Another Phoenix gets taken out. Stargate also gets destroyed. That means no more Phoenixes will be here. That's the only way to deal with drops. How did Gumiho all of a sudden gain like 20 supply? Get like a good loot box or something like that. How sick would that be in StarCraft 2? You can pay for like a loot box and you get like one of these drops. Like 10 Marines and 5 Marauders. You have a bad loot box. You get like 2 SCVs. Like a mule that only has 5-second duration. This is an interesting fight here. Half of the army of Gumiho is not here. Mines are pretty alive though. This is a weird attack. These are... there's no way back for these zealots, is there? There's no way back. There's not that much eco either. Okay, they are going to actually... going to manage to escape. That felt very scary. herO's movement is just scary, honestly, to watch. Double Disruptor before Colossi, understandable. There was a couple of mines out, like 9 mines are out. So in that case, Disruptor is definitely a good initial call because it allows you to just clean up these mines. Followed up with Colossi, 4th base. We have these Phoenixes in the middle of the map. They're probably going to get killed by these mines, honestly. I find it difficult to believe that these Phoenixes won't get caught by anything. Yep, there we go. That's 1 shot. That's a second. 2 Phoenixes go down. And don't forget, these can be rebuilt. This Zealot army is actually going to get caught as well. We see, I think, 2-3 Zealots actually going down here. Upgrades also looking good for Gumiho. Let's not forget about that. Oh, here come the mines. This is the type of move. This is the type of move that I love. Honest to God. Dish! 6 worker kills. I mean, he's not huge, but it's not small either. You'd rather have those workers than lose them. That's what I always say. Oof. Big disruptor shot, second disruptor shot's going in. Also going to connect with these Marines right now. 138 supply in favor of Gumiho. And with the better upgrades, this type of choke is not where you want to be fighting as a Protoss player. Blink is not finished yet either. And I think every single Phoenix at this point has sadly passed away. That means that 12 Phoenixes and 4 Oracles have died this game. Both of the Oracles that were rebuilt also died. I almost think that Gumiho is ahead. If there are ghosts in this army, I think he is ahead. But he doesn't have ghost, so he's not ahead. According to my logic. Still has a dangerous amount of units on the map though. The Zealots against a drop in this type of base layout. Good luck, my friend. I wish you lots of luck in your life, but it's no fun defending that type of crap, let me tell you. Where's the Disruptors? They died? How did I miss that? Must have happened in the main base, I guess. Okay, look at this. This is hell. This is absolute hell to defend with Zealots. You can yeah, this. Look at this. Look at this Marauder. You're just blocking the entire surface area of all of these Zealots. You have to split a little bit to the top side as well. Good target fire out of Gumiho, taking out these Stalkers. This drop is just going to kill like 25 supply of Zealots and more Stalkers being warped in. Upgrades are so powerful in this type of scenario where you don't have a huge majority that can actually fight against it. I think herO legit lost like 30, 35 supply here and hardly killed anything. Gumiho now is setting up for the next attack. Is this 8 racks already or is it still on 5 racks? We are on 8 racks currently and we have that very big production. You see kind of represented in that in the supply count as well. I was like, wow, all of a sudden there's so much supply. How is that possible? Love the movement out of Gumiho moving towards the far right side. We have an army on the left side. We have mines in the middle, defending for any potential run by. Stalkers will get taken out. There's an observer here. That means that 2 of these mines will die. There's just no vision whatsoever though for herO. Is going to lose the Robo Bay and is also most likely just going to lose this base altogether. At the same time, we have another kind of sharking army with 2 mines in it. Should stim in towards the 4th base. Ooh. Gumiho tried to escape. It's not going to quite be capable of doing that. Should really boost these medevacts back. It's a lot of money in these medevacts. Right now, Gumiho kind of is making a play for the eco, saying, hey, I'm going to just give you one opportunity in this game to win. And that is right now in a counterattack. As long as there are units on the map, though, for Gumiho, a counterattack is going to be really difficult to execute. Just really, really tricky. There's so many mines as well. The vision sucks for herO. It really does. We have more medevacts making their way across the map, which is 100% the correct play. Then you just keep your main base, and as long as you keep your main, you're probably just going to be absolutely fine. We have these double drops heading in towards the 3rd base, just a single cannon there. This base is never going to mine again. It's 4 medevacts in the main base. There's no recall available either. And now we get to see what actually is going to happen. Zealots are dying already. 194 supply against 130. This is fantastic Terran versus Protoss, honestly, out of Gumiho. Gumiho has been playing some insane Terran versus Protoss today in this best of 5. Lots of different strategies, big builder diversity. But even when things looked kind of bad, which honestly it did in this game at some point, right? 140 supply for the toss, it's not what you want. The army movement of Gumiho and the understanding of what to do with his units is so good. Decision making, fabulous as well. Also feels like he's gotten a lot faster after he came back from the army. Before he went to the army, he was kind of known as a relatively slow player. Like very focused on strategies and a mech player as well. But now, he feels quite fast. Control on the bio army is good. I'm extremely impressed. herO is completely dead. He perhaps doesn't realize that. We saw in game number 1 how long he can stay in. Luckily for us, that's not going to be the case here, because he's just going to get eliminated. Every single building is just straight up going to die. Command center will float in towards the corner. We have another command center floating through the middle of the map. But it is not... GG gets called, as I think every single building that herO had also got taken out here. So yeah, game was actually completely over. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching this best of 5. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye bye.